Hello everybody, this is jaydenshaunts, and today we have to unbox and set up is the new for 2025 12ft Immortal Nightwalker from Tekky. This is a new for 2025 animatronic from Lowe's. I happened to walk into my store the other day. It was up on the top shelf. They know us at our local Lowe's as the crazy Halloween people, and when they saw me walk in, they were like, "You want the big guy, don't you?" And pretty much what happened. So they went and got it down for us, and here he is in my possession, opening him a couple days later. So here is what the current inside of the box looks like. You can see there's just a piece of cardboard here, all the packing in here. Piece of cardboard that does contain a heavy tie down that I'm surprised Bone Collector didn't have that. So he's got a big tie down, all his rope tie downs, and then there's the zip ties for like in-store, the MST people, and then there are the instructions. He doesn't look as tightly packed as the other ones from past years did, like the Scarecrow and the Bone Collector. So this guy looks like he might be really easy to pack in the box at the end of the season, which is going to be really, really nice. So first thing that we can get out here is an arm. Metal thickness looks great. His arm has a lot more tubing than the Bone Collector did, which is going to be nice because this guy's got a way flowier cloth around his sleeves from what I remember correctly, and he's even got braces in there for the arms as well so that they don't bend down over time during the season, which is great. There's that. Here is another arm, so there's that. Next giant part that can come out is his shoulders, which, ooh, this cloth on his shoulders I really like. This is a nice kind of silky velvety material. So there is that. Here are his shoulders. The shoulders are pretty big, as you would expect for a 12-foot animatronic, and then there is a plastic innard just to kind of keep the cloth out of the motor, I assume. So there's that. This right here looks to be the light that is going to shine up from his base. The shoulders don't want to cooperate with me, but there are the swirling light is going to create a flame effect for him. This is the head motor, or not, sorry, the torso turning motor, because his head doesn't move, his torso turns. So there's that, and I want to show you this, because this is a really beefy motor that Tekky has even started using in just their regular 6-foot tall animatronics, which I think is just phenomenal. Holy crap, this tubed metal is huge. I don't remember if it was this big on the Bone Collector. I'm sure it was, but dang. This is a heavy piece right here. So as you can see, this is a gigantic bearing, so that way it doesn't bend, tilt in the wind or anything throughout the season. You can even see the motor. It has got metal gears in there, which is awesome. Down here, his arm just fell over. The bubble wrap. Next big part that can come out looks to be his lantern hand. We're gonna get this all out and looked at. Okay, here is the huge lantern. Dang, this thing is gigantic. So one thing I want to point out right off the bat is that there is a spotlight in his hand that shines up on his face that I really, really like that they added that. But yeah, there is that lantern with the hand. We're going to set that here off to the side, and we're going to get out his other hand now. These hands are so monstrous. This is crazy. Far bigger than the Bone Collector's hands. Watch. But there is another hand, and it looks like the next big part is going to be his head, which I'm really excited about. Oh, no, before his head, let's get to his clothes. This is really heavy, actually. Yeah, that's all his clothes. That's a pretty heavy box. Bag, sorry. With some cardboard protecting his head. His head looks huge. Holy crap. And it's heavy. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Okay, where's the opening here? This head is a really thick blow mold plastic. That is awesome. Feels really nice quality. Okay, you guys are gonna see his face before I do. Okay. There is his face. Okay, I know his blood doesn't look great, but I'm gonna fix that myself. But now I'm gonna take a look at it. Dang, this looks awesome. I love this face. This sculpt looks so good. His mouth looks phenomenal. That's a really weird thing to say, but it looks really good. But yeah, I am definitely going to touch up this blood. I'm not a fan of how bright this blood is. I do have permablood. Permablood is UV resistant, so that is going to look great just going over this. But yeah, that is his head. I'm going to set this over here carefully, because I don't want it to fall over. Okay, and then we've got, oh, here's something that fell out. His hip ring with his cloth. Oh, this is pretty much one-to-one with the cremator. This is that exact material. Tekky did make the cremator for Spirit Halloween. This is that exact same two materials for the cremator. And then his hip ring is also in there. Let's take out the frame. And yeah, this frame looks great. This is pretty much the exact same quality that the Bone Collector was. And if anybody owns the Bone Collector, you know that was an absolute beast of an animatronic. That completely outranks the quality of any of the Home Depot ones. And so did their second year run of the Scarecrow. The first year one was a little iffy, but they improved it the next year and it completely crapped on the quality of the Home Depot ones. So this guy looks like it is no different. This is far better than the SVI ones. I'm really excited to get this going. These welds look phenomenal. There's a wing nut there, I assume, for the light. And the welding is all the way around on both sides, which SVI does not do. That is why their bases fold so easily, because they only put the weld on the one side. And it looks like there is not a single part that doesn't have welding. So that is great. This guy is going to stand very nice and strong, and it's definitely one I would feel comfortable having freestanding in some decent winds. But I don't do that anyway. I'm going to have him chained up to my house, so that way he has some additional support, because we get some really crazy wind and rain here in October down here in South Texas. So that appears to be everything. There's one box down there. I'm not sure what that is. It might just be an empty box for a spacer. That box that was here in the bottom of the box is the lower leg pulls, the upper leg pulls with control box and the 5.9 volt adapter, and these spine pulls. If you are opening this at the store and can't fit the box in your vehicle and are taking everything out to just trash the box, make sure you grab this box that is at the bottom. And there's also another little box hiding in the bottom that says ground stakes. So I'm going to get all these twist ties cut, lay out everything, make sure I have everything, make sure you have everything, and we'll get to his setup. Here's everything that the 12-foot Immortal Nightwalker comes with. You have the base, 2 poles labeled D and E, 1 pole labeled B1 and A1, 1 pole with the control box labeled B1 and C1. The control box will have the adapter already plugged into it. 1 pole labeled B and A, another pole labeled C and B. This part here that I presume is going to be for his arms, labeled H, G, F, and I. This part labeled D, C, and C1. The 4 stabilizer poles. The hip ring with a white cloth and a black creepy cloth overlay. A box of ground stakes. The bag with his clothing. The shoulders with a plastic underside and a red piece of cloth. The open hand, the hand with the lantern attached. His head. The body turning module. Both arms left and right. The baggie with the instructions, the tie downs, and the support cable. And the bottom red swirling light. Let's get to a setup. Your first several steps are going to be locating a nice and secure place for your base, making sure it is on level ground. Then you're going to locate your pole labeled A and A1, and you're going to snap lock those into the corresponding spots, matching A to A and A1 to A1. Next, locate your pole labeled B and B1 and snap lock those into the coordinated spots, ensuring B to B and B1 to B1 are matched. Then you're going to locate your torso structural assembly part here, and you're going to snap lock that in, ensuring you have C to C and C1 to C1 matched. Now you're going to locate your 2 poles labeled D and snap lock those on here at the top. After snap locking on your 2 poles labeled D, this would be a great time to locate your hip ring with the black creepy cloth and white underlayer and drape that on over the frame, and connect that to the corresponding hip loop holes. Now this would be a great time to locate your motor assembly and your separate part. This, I should have done this separate, but this part here that is labeled F, see right there, F and I, you're gonna go ahead and snap all this together. Now we're gonna go ahead and locate his shoulders and slide that into the pre-drilled pins that is on the frame. After your shoulder form, it would be a great time to go ahead and put on the costume. It wants you to lay the entire thing out already over the costume, but it just kept falling off of the shoulders. So to make this a little bit easier, I went ahead and attached both the arms and their corresponding places. They're different lettered, they fit only one way. So I went ahead and did that to hold the costume up here, and then we're gonna situate the costume and have it flowing down the frame. Next, we are going to attach his head and hands, and when doing so, make sure you run the wire all the way down and plug it into the control box for his head, and the wire for his lantern, running that all the way down and plugging it into the control box. Then you're gonna go ahead and locate the wiring, since we have all this open already, the wiring for his sensor, and plug it into the control box. Now we're gonna go ahead and screw the light. It shines down here at the bottom with that wing nut. Wing that in, and then we're going to run that cable all the way up here and plug it in, matching end to end. Now go ahead and locate your metal support wire. You're going to want to snap lock it all the way up here at the top of the frame, right here at the motor. Run it all the way down the middle of the hip ring and down to the base, ensuring it is snap locked properly, and tighten that as tight as you can get it. Now we're going to go ahead and Velcro up his costume and stand him up. After you stand him up, there are several steps that need to be done. There is going to be the tie downs that go in the front and the back. For both the front and back, they are both going to attach to the side ones as per the instructions. I'm not sure why there is a tie down spot in every single place if it is not supposed to go in that front and back one, but it is what it is. You're going to do this for both sides, and one thing that I find is weird, considering you're supposed to be able to run one to his back, there is not a hole back here, so I had to make my own on both sides, which I thought was very strange. They are very sloppy because I could not find scissors, and I just used my pocket knife. But yeah, you have to cut holes back there to properly anchor it for whatever reason. And another thing is there is not any Velcro to hold his shirt to his waist. So in the wind, as you can see, the shirt is falling inside of his ring, but I think I'm gonna either add Velcro or safety pins. Actually, I can't do that because I forgot his torso tarts. So that is just gonna have to be a problem we live with, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it would have been nice if just his shirt was a little bit longer, so that wouldn't happen. But after that, your setup is complete. All that's left to do is plug them in and watch them go. There are also two Velcro strips here on the lower side that help hold his cape down. And then there's also a bendable wire in his cape to bend down and have held down around the base. We're gonna go through both his phrases in the light, and then we're gonna take a look at them in the dark.
Join me in my immortal death. For no one can escape when my call beckons. From the endless tortured nights.
And if you didn't notice, his eyes stay on whether he is activating or not. And so does his lantern.
Let me taste your precious soul. The next sunrise is far away, and we can play together in the pale shadows of the night.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the new 12-foot animated Immortal Nightwalker from Lowe's by Tekky. I have to say, as much as I love this thing, there are a few flaws. I'm going to go through the flaws first because there are very few. One flaw is the tie downs. The way the tie downs are really interfere with the costume here. As you can see, there's a big open gap in both sides of the cape. And to anchor it down in the back, of course, you need to anchor it down. There's not holes in the cape. I had to make my own holes, which aren't very pretty because I did it in a very out-of-pocket way. I used a pocket knife. I should have just used scissors, made a nice incision, but I had to cut holes in the costume so I can get those parts out to do it properly. And another thing is, I wish his shirt was longer, because as you can see, the shirt, let me move his box out of the way, his shirt keeps flying over inside of his hip ring from the wind, and this is a problem with numerous 12-footers from several different companies. I understand that his torso turns, but the cloth isn't going to be a big deal on the torso. So you could have made this maybe about 3 inches longer, so it is significantly past that hip ring. But those are really my only two minor gripes with it. Sorry, I have one more thing. This arm was up way too high. It just looked weird. I bent it down. As you can see, I bent it down a little bit. It looks so much better. It's not really a big deal. Very easy to do. It's not going to hinder the performance of the prop. It's just there. And his blood. His blood is not the greatest, but that's a very minor thing that we can touch up. Now let's get to the many, many pros of this prop. One very big pro that I love about this thing is that his eyes and his lantern stay on as soon as you plug him in. If he's in an off position, the eyes and lantern are on. If he is on human only mode, the eyes and lantern are always on. If he is just in the on function, the eyes and lantern are always on. No matter what, as soon as he has power, his eyes and lantern are immediately on. I really, really wish more outdoor animatronics were like that, with the lights staying on. Another really big pro, this is insanely nice quality. This is just like the Bone Collector. If you have the Bone Collector, you know that was an absolute tank of an animatronic. Held up in insane wind if you have it anchored properly. Do not use the included stakes with these things. The included stakes all of these 12-footers come with from any company are a complete freaking joke. Do not use those. Those suck. Pay attention to the Home Depot or Lowe's Home Depot Facebook groups, Spirit Halloween Facebook groups. There are tons of really, you can see his cloth just got caught in his ear now, but you can see tons of awesome trampoline stakes. I personally use these heavy duty, thick black tent stakes that you can purchase from Walmart for about $1.44 a piece. They might have gone up. I haven't bought them in a couple years. Last time I bought them was 2020. I bought like 100 of them that year, and I use them every single year. I'll put a picture of them on your screen, and I'll put a link in the description. I use those for everything. For this guy, I would definitely recommend using about 8 of them. 2 in the front part of the base, 2 in the back part of the base, 2 on each side of the base, just to secure it, and then also use these awesome tie downs that he has. The tie downs are an insanely nice touch to these 12-footers from Tekky and Lowe's. I really wish Home Depot would take notes on this because their 12-footers are really sketchy in the wind. With these tie downs and all the added reinforcements of welding all the way around this item, I have no issues with them ever in the wind. Another thing is I do kind of wish, this is another just like kind of minor tweak, not really a con, but I do wish he had more chain. I'm going to add some more chain, and I'm also going to add some chain coming out of his hand to hold it. He's got a metal wire going through his hand that is screwed to the top of the hand to hold the lantern in. It's very nice. It's very sturdy. I don't see that having any issues. The motor is another big thing. The motor is very nice quality. It is big. It's got a gigantic bearing. I don't see this having any issues. The only thing I'm worried about is that if it's very windy and you have it activating, it may struggle to move and you may burn out that motor. So if you're expecting high winds, I definitely would not have this guy plugged in. The lighting in this guy is very, very cool. I love the swirling effect down in his lower half of him. I love the flickering of the lantern, and again, I love that his eyes stay on. I absolutely adore his voice and the several different audio tracks that he has. I love that he's got that Count Orlok-esque noise, like the kind of like sucking sound. I love that he makes that noise. I am overall extremely, extremely happy with this guy. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of crap about it online because it's $450. For $450, you're getting a quality product. It is made well. It is welded and reinforced very, very nicely. You saw the build. It's very structurally sound, and I am very, very happy with it. For $450, I definitely recommend him. $400 would have been nicer, as that's how Bone Collector was last year, but these are very nice quality props. $450 is worth it. And the box is, again, on the bigger side, but it is a little bit, just a tad bit smaller than Bone Collector and the Scarecrow, and it is a lot lighter. Like, I can carry this around with ease on my own. I think it weighs about 80 pounds. It's not hard to move around. Yeah, it's at 72 pounds. I'm able to move it around on my own, no problem. Carried it from the truck, carried it out of the store even, and hauled it outside and into my shed. It's very easily manageable, but overall, I definitely recommend this guy. He is amazing. If you have the opportunity to pick him up, I highly, highly recommend him. This is a very unique character for a 12-footer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe.